The massive ships appeared without warning. One moment, Earth's orbital space was clear. The next, 12 enormous vessels materialized, each one larger than the biggest city on Earth. Their dark metal hulls gleamed under the sun's rays, stretching for miles across the sky. Inside the United Earth Defense Force headquarters, buried deep beneath the Rocky Mountains, Admiral James Walker stared at the main screen with steady eyes. He had trained for this moment his whole life, though he never truly believed it would come. The room around him buzzed with controlled panic as officers rushed between stations, monitoring the alien vessels that now dominated Earth's orbit. "Sir, they're broadcasting on all frequencies," reported Lieutenant Tom Davis, his fingers flying across the communication panel. "The signal it's perfectly compatible with our systems." Walker straightened his uniform. "Put them through." The main screen flickered, and a figure appeared. It looked almost human, but not quite. Its skin had a slight bluish tinge, and its eyes were too large, too dark. The alien wore what appeared to be a military uniform, decorated with strange symbols that seemed to shift and change as they caught the light. "People of Earth," the alien spoke in perfect English, its voice deep and commanding. "I am Imperial Commander Thex of the Galactic Empire. Your world now falls under our protection and rule. You will submit to Imperial authority within 30 of your Earth days, or face the consequences." Walker kept his voice level, though his heart raced. "This is Admiral James Walker of the United Earth Defense Force. We are a sovereign planet. We do not submit to threats." The alien's expression didn't change, but something like amusement flickered in those dark eyes. "Admiral Walker, you misunderstand. This is not a threat. It is simply how things are. The Empire has stood for 10,000 years. We have brought peace and order to 1,000,000 worlds. Resistance is not only futile, it is irrational." Behind Walker, the command center had fallen silent. Every person watched the exchange, barely breathing. "We will need time to discuss this with our world leaders," Walker replied carefully. "You have 30 days, Commander Thex stated. In that time, we will establish a base on your moon to oversee the transition. Any interference will be met with immediate response." The alien's image disappeared, leaving the screen showing only the looming ships above. Walker turned to his staff. "Get me the President and the Joint Chiefs. Now." The next 24 hours passed in a blur of emergency meetings, global broadcasts, and barely contained panic. In cities across the world, people flooded the streets, some in protest, others in prayer. The sight of the Imperial ships hanging in the sky, visible even during daylight hours, sent a clear message. Everything had changed. In a secure conference room, Walker met with the world's top military leaders. Maps and tactical displays covered the walls, showing Earth's defensive capabilities against the Imperial ships. The comparison wasn't encouraging. "Their technology is centuries ahead of ours," General Roberts said, pointing to the sensor readings. "Their smallest ship could probably wipe out half a continent." "But they haven't attacked yet," Walker noted. "They're giving us time." "Why?" "Standard Imperial procedure," said Dr. Miller, the leading xenologist who had been rushed to the facility. "Historical records from other civilizations show they prefer peaceful integration. Less resources wasted, less infrastructure damage. But if we resist..." She left the sentence hanging. Walker stood at the window, looking out at the mountain range. Somewhere up there, beyond the blue sky, aliens who had mastered the galaxy waited for humanity's surrender. They expected submission. They thought they knew exactly how this would play out, based on thousands of years of expanding their empire. But they didn't know humans. "Get me everything we have on the Mars archaeological project," Walker ordered suddenly. "And I want our best scientists and strategists brought here immediately. If we have 30 days, we're going to use every second of them." The Empire thought they were dealing with just another primitive species to add to their collection. They were about to learn that humanity didn't bow easily, and that sometimes The most dangerous enemy was the one you underestimated. Deep beneath the red sands of Mars, Dr. Emma Stone stared at the alien ship they had discovered 3 years ago. The vessel had lain hidden for thousands of years until a mining operation stumbled upon it. Now it might be humanity's only hope. "Run the test again," she ordered, watching as her team activated the ship's neural interface. The ancient control panel lit up with a soft blue glow, responding to the human test subject's brainwaves. On the screen above, complex patterns of data flowed faster than any human eye could follow. "It's the same result as before," said Dr. Robert Banks, checking the readings. "The neural patterns are 10 times stronger than anything we've recorded previously. And look at this." He pointed to a particular data stream. "The encryption is breaking down completely." Emma leaned closer to the screen. For 3 years, they had studied this ship in complete secrecy, knowing that the discovery could change everything. They never expected it would become relevant so quickly. The emergency video call from Earth interrupted their work. Admiral Walker's face appeared on the main screen, looking tired but determined. "Dr. Stone, tell me you have good news," he said without preamble. Emma straightened up. "Better than good, Admiral. We've confirmed it. The Empire's ships use the same basic neural technology as the ancient vessel we found here. And there's something special about human brains. Our neural patterns are completely different from anything their systems were designed to handle." "Explain it simply, Doctor." "Think of it like a lock and key," Emma said. "The Empire's technology is designed to work with alien brains that developed along similar paths. But human brains evolved differently. We're like a key they never expected, one that can unlock their systems in ways they never imagined possible." Walker's expression grew intense. "You're saying we can hack their ships?" "Not just hack them," Emma replied, gesturing to the test results. "We can interface with their technology better than they can. The neural links we're seeing are orders of magnitude stronger than what their systems were designed for. It's like they built a highway, but our brains can turn it into a superconductor." The Admiral was silent for a moment, processing this information. "How quickly can you get this working on a larger scale?" "That's the problem," Dr. Banks cut in. "We've only managed to replicate the neural interface technology for small systems. Scaling it up would take months, maybe years." "We have 28 days, Walker reminded them. Emma moved to another console, pulling up the scans of the Imperial ships in orbit. "Maybe not. Look at these energy readings from their fleet. They're using the same basic technology as this ancient ship. If we can get close enough to one of their vessels, we could hijack their own systems," Walker finished. "Use their technology against them." "Exactly." Emma's eyes shone with excitement. "Their entire empire is built on this neural link technology. They've used it for so long, they probably can't imagine it being a weakness. But for us, it's a weapon." Walker nodded. "How many people know about this project?" "Less than 50, Emma answered. "We've kept it completely compartmentalized, just as ordered." "Good. Keep it that way." Walker looked off screen for a moment, then back at them. "The Empire is setting up a base on the moon. They're watching our major facilities, but they don't know about Mars. Dr. Stone, I'm sending you our best neural scientists and engineers. You have 2 weeks to turn this discovery into something we can use." After the call ended, Emma walked back to the ancient ship. Its dark hull still held so many mysteries, but now they didn't have time to unravel them all. They needed weapons, not answers. "Dr. Stone," one of the technicians called out, "should we begin modifying the neural interfaces for combat applications?" Emma touched the ship's cold surface, feeling the slight hum of power that still ran through it after thousands of years. "Yes," she said, "and send me everything we have on their drone systems. If we're going to survive this, we need to think bigger than just defending ourselves." The Empire had no idea that their greatest advantage was about to become their biggest weakness. Humanity was about to show them exactly how dangerous underestimating Earth could be. Commander Marcus Reed lay flat against the lunar surface, watching the Imperial base through his helmet's enhanced vision. 3 massive structures had sprouted from the moon's gray dust in just days, their metallic surfaces reflecting Earth's blue glow. Next to him, 4 other soldiers waited in perfect stillness, their suits designed to mask both heat and electronic signatures. "Status check," Marcus whispered into his comm. "Team 2 in position," came the quiet response. "No movement on the east side. Team 3 ready. We've got eyes on their patrol drones." Marcus checked his oxygen levels. 4 hours remaining. "It should be enough time. Remember," he said, "we're here to gather intel only. No engagement unless absolutely necessary." They had trained for this mission in virtual reality for the past week, but nothing could have prepared them for how alien everything felt. The Imperial structures weren't built with any logic humans could understand. Walls curved in impossible ways, and doors appeared and disappeared as if by magic. "Movement at the main entrance," Team 2 reported. "Some kind of automated transport." Marcus zoomed in with his visor. A large, boxy vehicle had emerged from the base, floating a few inches above the ground. No driver was visible. "Another drone," he noted, just like the others. That had been their most surprising discovery so far. In the week since the Empire began building their lunar base, they had seen only 3 actual aliens. Everything else was automated: drones, robots, and AI systems doing all the work. "Sir," his team's tech specialist, Jack Wilson, whispered, "I'm picking up some interesting data streams. Their network traffic is massive, but most of these signals aren't going to their ships in orbit. They're heading out of the solar system." Marcus frowned. "Can you trace them?" "Working on it." Jack's fingers moved across his portable terminal. "It looks like they're connecting to other bases. Hundreds of them, maybe thousands, spread across different star systems." "Commander," Team 3 cut in urgently, "we've got a clear path to their secondary structure. Permission to move closer." Marcus studied the area. The drone patrols followed perfect patterns, too perfect. "Granted, but time it with the next dust cloud." The moon's surface regularly kicked up small clouds of dust, which their scientists had learned could temporarily interfere with Imperial sensors. Team 3 waited for one such cloud, then moved swiftly through it, reaching the base of the strange building. "Sir," Jack said suddenly, his voice tense with excitement, "you need to see this data. I think we discovered something big." Marcus crawled over to Jack's position, careful to stay in the shadow of a large rock. The screen showed a complex network map with thousands of points of light connected by glowing lines. "This is their empire," Jack explained. "Each point is a controlled system. But look at this." He highlighted several areas. "These sectors, hundreds of them, they're only maintained by drone networks. No actual ships or troops. You're saying the Empire isn't as strong as they want us to think?" "They're spread thin," Jack confirmed. "Really thin. They rely on automation to keep control of most systems. The actual fleet," he pointed to a much smaller cluster of points, "it's barely a fraction of what they claimed." Marcus felt a smile forming despite the situation. "So when they said they had enough ships to destroy any resistance, they were bluffing, sir. They have the technology, but not the numbers. They're counting on fear and their reputation to keep systems in line." Alert flashed on their suits. 2 hours of oxygen remaining. Marcus took one last look at the Imperial base. "All teams, begin withdrawal. We've got what we came for." As they carefully made their way back to their hidden shuttle, Marcus thought about what they'd discovered. The Empire had ruled through fear and intimidation for thousands of years, making everyone believe they were invincible. But they had just shown their hand. "Send all this to Admiral Walker as soon as we're safely away," he ordered. "And Jack, good work. You just gave Earth a fighting chance." The Empire's greatest weakness wasn't their technology or their strategies. It was their own success. They had grown too big, too complacent, too dependent on their automated systems. They had forgotten what it meant to fight an enemy with nothing to lose and everything to gain. That was about to change. Captain Lisa Torres sat in the command chair of the stealth ship _Shadow_, hidden in the darkness behind Europa, Jupiter's ice-covered moon. The vessel, barely larger than an old Earth submarine, was humanity's newest weapon, built using knowledge from the ancient Mars ship and covered in materials that absorbed all scanning signals. "Status report," she ordered quietly, though she knew the Empire couldn't hear them here. "All systems running silent," replied Mike Green, her engineer. "The neural interface is stable. No signs of detection." Next to him, 3 specialists sat connected to neural pods. New technology rushed into production by Dr. Stone's team. Their minds were linked directly to the ship's systems, ready to break into Imperial networks. "Time check," Lisa said. 23 days since first contact. Her second in command, John Porter, reported. 7 days until their deadline. Lisa nodded, studying the massive Imperial command hub floating near Jupiter. Unlike the simple base on the moon, this was a true display of Imperial power, a station larger than anything humans had ever built, controlling drone networks across dozens of star systems. "Review the mission one last time," she ordered. John brought up the holographic display. "Project Thunderstrike is go. We approach using Europa's magnetic field as cover. Once in range, our neural team hacks into their drone control systems. Dr. Stone's programs will let us take control of their automated defenses. Then we give Earth a fighting chance," Lisa finished. She looked at her small crew, just 12 people, carrying humanity's hopes with them. "Begin approach." The _Shadow_ glided silently through space, its dark hull blending perfectly with the void. They had trained for this mission hundreds of times in simulators, but this was different. One mistake, one detection, and Earth's best chance would be lost. "Imperial patrol approaching," warned Rachel Evans, their sensor operator. 3 drone ships. "Hold position," Lisa ordered. They watched as the automated patrol passed by, just a few kilometers away. The drones, relying on standard scanning patterns, saw nothing unusual in the shadow of Europa. After 10 tense minutes, they reached their target position, close enough to access the command hub's networks, but far enough to escape if detected. "Neural team, prepare for insertion," Lisa commanded. The 3 specialists, the best hackers Earth had to offer, closed their eyes as the neural interface activated. Through their enhanced connection, they could see the Imperial networks as streams of light and data, just waiting to be accessed. "Beginning infiltration," said Amy Wong, lead hacker. Her fingers moved across her neural controls as her mind reached into the Imperial systems. Their security is exactly like the Mars ship. Starting Phase 1. Warning lights suddenly flashed across the bridge. Imperial ship dropping out of faster-than-light travel. Rachel called out. Capital-class vessel, bearing straight toward the command hub. Lisa's heart raced, but her voice remained calm. "Can they detect us?" "Negative, but if they change course by just 2 degrees. "Continue the mission," Lisa ordered. "We won't get another chance." On the main screen, they watched as a massive Imperial warship appeared, its hull gleaming in Jupiter's reflected light. It was easily 1,000 times larger than their small vessel. 60% complete, Amy reported, sweat visible on her forehead. "Their drone networks are starting to respond. I can feel them." The Imperial warship grew larger in their view, approaching the command hub. One slight deviation in its course, one random scan in their direction. 80%, Amy gasped. "The defense networks are ours. Primary controls accessing. Neural links establishing." The massive ship passed by their position, missing them by less than a kilometer. No one on the bridge dared to breathe. "Download complete," Amy finally announced. "We have control of the local drone network." Copying control codes to secure storage. Lisa allowed herself a small smile. "Send the success signal to Earth. Tell them tell them the drones are coming home." They had done it. In less than an hour, they had turned thousands of Imperial drones into humanity's new army. Now they just had to get back to Earth before anyone noticed what they'd done. The real fight was about to begin. Imperial Commander Thex stood on his flagship's bridge, watching Earth rotate slowly beneath him. Something was wrong. The humans were too quiet, too calm in the face of inevitable defeat. His long experience told him they were planning something. "Begin the warning strike," he ordered. "Show them the price of defiance." In Earth's underground command center, Admiral Walker was reviewing Captain Torres's successful mission report when the first alarm sounded. Multiple Imperial ships powering weapons. Lieutenant Davis shouted, "Energy readings off the scale." Walker grabbed the command console. "All bases, initiate Protocol Echo. Get everyone underground now." Brilliant beams of light stabbed down from the Imperial ships, striking military bases across the globe. The ground shook as massive explosions lit up the sky. In seconds, decades of human military power were reduced to smoking craters. But something was wrong. "Sir," Davis said, checking his readings, "they only hit our visible bases, the underground facilities, the hidden bunkers. They don't know about them," Walker finished. In the 3 weeks since first contact, humanity had worked day and night to move their real forces underground. The bases above were mostly empty shells. On his flagship, Thex watched the destruction with growing unease. Scan for human military responses. Show neither panic, their fear. "Commander," his sensor officer reported, "we're detecting no significant human communications. No mass panic. No emergency broadcasts." Thex's eyes narrowed. "Impossible. No species has ever." "Sir," energy spike detected on the human moon. At the lunar base, Imperial officers watched in shock as their automated defenses suddenly turned against them. Drone ships that had patrolled peacefully for weeks now aimed their weapons at Imperial positions. "How?" Thex demanded, watching the reports flood in. "How are they controlling our drones?" In the Mars facility, Dr. Stone and her team worked frantically at their stations. "Neural link established," she announced. "The captured drone codes are working. Expanding control to all local Imperial automated systems." Walker's voice came through the secure channel. "How many can you control?" "Nearly 30% of their local forces," Emma replied. "But they're fighting back. Their systems are adapting." Back on the flagship, Thex had reached the same conclusion. "They've infected our neural networks somehow." "Impossible. Their brains are too primitive to." "Commander," his officer interrupted, "we're detecting launches from Earth. Hundreds of them. From hidden silos and underwater bases across the planet, humanity's real military force emerge. Missiles and fighters filled the sky, all equipped with the reverse-engineered neural technology from Mars." "Let them come," Thex snarled. "They still can't match our technology." But as the first wave of human fighters engaged his ships, something unexpected happened. The human pilots, connected through neural interfaces to their craft, weren't just matching Imperial technology. They were exceeding it. "Their neural patterns," his science officer reported in shock. "They're operating at frequencies we thought impossible. Their control over our systems is stronger than ours." Walker watched from the command center as the battle unfolded above. Human fighters, though smaller and less advanced, were running circles around the larger Imperial ships. Each pilot's neural connection gave them reflexes and control far beyond what the Empire had thought possible. "Sir," Davis called out, "Imperial forces are pulling back. They're retreating to higher orbit." But Walker didn't celebrate. This was just the beginning. "Tell all forces to hold position. Don't pursue." He opened a channel to Mars. "Dr. Stone, how long can you maintain drone control?" "Long enough," she replied. "But they're learning, Admiral. We need to move forward with the final phase soon." Walker nodded grimly. The Empire had just learned that humanity wouldn't fold easily. But he knew Thex wouldn't give up. The real battle was still to come. "All forces, maintain battle stations," he ordered. "They'll be back. And next time, they'll be ready for us." In orbit, Thex stared at the planet below with new respect and growing anger. These humans had done the impossible. They had bloodied the Empire's nose. Now he would show them why the Empire had ruled the galaxy for 10,000 years. The next attack would not be a warning. Captain Taurus and her crew aboard the _Shadow_ raced back toward Earth, their stolen drone control codes more precious than gold. Behind them, Jupiter's massive form grew smaller against the backdrop of space. Multiple Imperial ships detected. Rachel called from her sensor station. "They found us." "How?" Lisa demanded, but she already knew. The Empire would have traced their hack of the command hub by now. 6 warships, approaching fast, Rachel reported. "Their weapons are hot." Lisa made a quick decision. "Neural team, jack in. Let's see if our new toys work." Amy and her fellow hackers connected to their neural interfaces. Through their enhanced connection, they reached out to the nearest Imperial drones, maintenance units that had been quietly working on the Empire's ships. "Got them," Amy shouted. "Redirecting drones now." The Imperial warships suddenly found themselves under attack from their own maintenance units. Small repair drones turned their cutting tools against hull plating, while internal systems began shutting down. "It's working," John Porter reported, watching the chaos unfold. "The Imperial ships are falling behind." But Lisa knew better than to celebrate. Maximum thrust toward Earth. They won't stay confused for long. Back on Earth, Dr. Stone worked with her team in the Mars facility, monitoring the neural interface data from every engagement with Imperial forces. Something in the readings caught her eye. "Admiral Walker," she called through the secure channel. "I've found something. The neural links. They're not just letting us control their systems. They're making our weapons more effective." "Explain," Walker ordered. Emma pulled up the combat data. "When our pilots interface with their fighters, they're not just flying them. They're enhancing the weapon systems themselves. Human neural patterns are amplifying the energy outputs. We're getting nearly double the power from standard weapons." In orbit, Imperial Commander Thex received the report of the attack on his pursuing ships with cold fury. "Launch all remaining drones," he ordered. "Surround the planet. No more games." Thousands of Imperial drones moved into position around Earth, their weapons charged. But as they formed their attack pattern, something unexpected happened. Captain Taurus's ship burst out of faster-than-light travel right in the middle of the drone fleet. Before the Empire could react, her neural team broadcast the stolen command codes. "Neural interface at full power," Amy shouted, blood trickling from her nose with the strain. "Uploading virus now." Across Earth orbit, Imperial drones suddenly stopped responding to their master's commands. One by one, their control systems switched allegiance. "Sir," Lieutenant Davis called out in the underground command center. "The drone fleet. They're ours." Walker immediately opened a channel to all Earth forces. "All units, commence Operation Thunderstrike. Drive them back." Earth's hidden fleet rose to meet the Imperial ships. But now they weren't alone. Thousands of captured drones joined them, their weapons turned against their former masters. On his flagship, Thex watched in disbelief as his drone network crumbled. "Impossible. No species has ever been able to." "Commander," his science officer interrupted, face pale. "The humans, their neural patterns are still evolving. They're learning to use our technology better than we do. Their mental connection to the systems is growing stronger by the minute." In the Mars facility, Emma watched the neural feedback readings with growing excitement. "Admiral, our pilots are exceeding all projected limits. The neural interfaces are adapting to human thought patterns in ways we never imagined possible." Walker nodded grimly. "Send the signal. It's time to show them everything we can do." Across the solar system, human forces powered up their weapons to full strength, their neural interfaces glowing with unprecedented energy. The Empire had ruled the galaxy through superior technology for 10,000 years, but they had never faced humans before. All forces, Walker commanded, his voice carrying to every Earth ship and captured drone. Prepare for final engagement. Show them why you don't threaten Earth. The battle that would decide humanity's future was about to begin. Admiral Walker stood at the command center as Earth's combined fleet faced the Imperial Armada. Through the neural interface, he could feel every ship, every captured drone, all connected in a vast network of human consciousness. Time to surrender. Thex's voice boomed across all channels. You fought well, but this ends now. The Empire cannot be defeated. Walker smiled. You're right, Commander. This does end now. He opened the neural link to full power. All forces, execute final attack pattern. Show them what humanity can really do. The space around Earth erupted in chaos. Human ships moved with impossible speed, their neural-enhanced weapons cutting through Imperial shields like they weren't there. Captured drones swarmed the larger Imperial vessels, their weapons amplified by human neural patterns to many times their normal power. On his flagship, Thex watched in growing horror as his forces began to crumble. How? How are they doing this? Their neural patterns, his science officer reported, voice shaking. They're linking together, forming a network more powerful than anything we've ever seen. Our systems weren't designed to handle this level of mental energy. Captain Taurus's ship _Shadow_ led a wing of captured drones straight for the Imperial flagship. Neural team, full power, she ordered. Amy and her hackers pushed their interfaces to the limit, blood running from their noses as they channeled more power than any Imperial system was meant to handle. The drone's weapons blazed with blue-white fire, burning through the flagship's hull. Imperial ships tried to respond, but their crews couldn't match the speed of human neural reactions. Dr. Stone watched from Mars, monitoring the neural network readings. Admiral, it's working. The neural interfaces are adapting to each pilot's unique brainwaves, growing stronger with every second. We're not just using their technology anymore. We're making it evolve. An Imperial cruiser exploded, its reactor overloaded by the enhanced weapon fire. Then another fell, and another. The mighty Empire's fleet was being torn apart by the very technology they had relied on for millennia. Commander, Thex's second-in-command reported, we've lost 60% of our ships. The humans, they're not just defeating us. They're revolutionizing our own technology as they fight. Thex stared at the battle displays in disbelief. 10,000 years of Imperial dominance, undone in a single day by a species they had thought primitive. All ships, he ordered finally, stand down. The fighting stopped. Walker kept Earth's forces ready, the neural network humming with power. Are you ready to talk, Commander? How? Thex asked simply. How did you do this? You thought technology was everything, Walker replied. You forgot that it's not the tools that matter. It's how you use them. Humanity doesn't just adapt to technology. We make it adapt to us. Through the neural interface, Walker could feel every human pilot and operator connected in a vast web of consciousness, their minds working together in ways the Empire had never dreamed possible. They had taken Imperial technology and transformed it into something new, something more powerful. The Empire has stood for 10,000 years, Thex said slowly. But never have we seen anything like this. Then learn from it, Walker suggested. Your empire survived this long because no one could challenge you. Now someone has. The question is, what will you do about it? There was a long pause. Finally, Thex spoke again. The Empire recognizes Earth as an independent power, equal status, full autonomy. In the command center, cheers erupted, but Walker wasn't finished. And the other worlds under your control, the ones kept in line by fear. Another pause. We will negotiate new terms, with Earth as mediator. Walker nodded. Humanity had done more than save itself. It had changed the balance of power across the galaxy. We accept those terms, Commander. Welcome to a new era. As the Imperial ships withdrew, Dr. Stone's voice came through the neural link. Admiral, should we begin powering down the network? Walker looked at the display showing the vast web of human consciousness, all working together. No, Doctor. This is just the beginning. Humanity is ready to take its place among the stars. The Empire had sought to conquer Earth. Instead, they had awakened something far greater, humanity's true potential. The galaxy would never be the same.